yet another situation where I thought, okay, Michael's finally lost it. He wants us to do Hong Kong in Detroit.
Hong Kong in Detroit. Well, it says it itself, does it not? Hong Kong in Detroit.
You sort of go, you sort of clean your ears out and think, okay.
Creating Hong Kong in the middle of downtown Detroit is just pretty damn remarkable, you know?
We did build a huge amount there that you could never do in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is so dense.
You're cheating exterior photography in a U.S. city for Hong Kong. So the look of those sets is vital to that illusion.
We're in the middle of downtown Detroit. This is an empty lot. And we have a big area we can build our buildings that we're going to destroy. And this is great. I mean, there's not much around here. You can close off the streets, and we sort of have our peace. That's the part that's going to break off. We're going to build scaffolding behind it because we want to hide that building because it would give Detroit away. So it's going to be like this bamboo scaffolding covering the whole building. We're not copying the street in Hong Kong. We're just trying to put buildings together that make sense while they're shooting them and then make sense when they mix it with real footage from Hong Kong.
And part of filming in an environment like this is we have different entities, including the Detroit People Mover. We just wrapped that. If you look at it, it's in Chinese. It runs about every 2 to 5 minutes, and they're willing to work with us while we're filming here. So they're actually going to be a big part of our set.
We built a lot of things that could be knocked down because, you know, you got 50-foot dinosaurs going through Hong Kong. They're going to knock a lot of stuff down. It's not a city built for dinosaurs.
For us in the construction end, it's very important to have that coordinated effort between the art department and us in construction because we have a tendency to like to build things straight and true. And in this particular instance, this thing's been aged. The buildings have to look like they're deteriorating. So it's a matter of how much age, how deteriorated the buildings need to look. And in this case, what we did is we did a series of 1x3 plan-ons, and then we put lath over it. So it gave that broken away look. And this here, of course, is not real rebar because it could be a safety issue.
We had 4 or 5 weeks working with construction, putting bullet hits in the walls.
They would build a partial set, and then we would go in and put what we call the cavity or the mortar. And then we would put our explosive charge in that cavity.
We have to run wires down each one of these holes, number, label them. Then we'll go back and put our squibs in, some debris.
And then they would plaster over that. When it's detonated, it gives you that illusion that we've made this big hole, but the hole is already there.
So we're gonna walk over to the noodle shop right now. These were very difficult to make, and Kevin Kropp, one of our set dressers, one of our buyers, figured out how to do this.
Exhibit A, first trial at making noodles, shredding paper towel through a shredder. It seemed to work from a distance, but then we'd have to paint them and weigh them down because they would blow too readily. So step B was to come up with something that had more weight and that the color was right. These are 48-foot long runs of rubber bands used to power model airplanes. The idea was based on images, references that Jeffrey found of noodles hanging from the rafters, essentially, of these noodle shops in China. And then the other part of the equation was a noodle making machine. So it was just a matter of gathering found parts. These are old conveyor belts. These are valve covers from a car engine, used as chain guards, a couple of pistons, and voila, we have a noodle shop.
So our first day in Detroit. Michael said, okay, so here's your path.
Don't crowd my Steadicam when the explosion goes, which means stay this side of the Steadicam.
You're gonna go round here, take a left there, go forward a little bit more.
We're gonna shoot into explosions, shoot that circle. We're gonna go to them.
We were like, okay.
The circle's here. You're gonna find your place towards your dad. You're gonna go to the other side.
And then you go round there and follow that post round.
Jeff, you cut in this way. Mark, come wide. Come in here. You're gonna go to this mark right here.
I'm gonna shout missile. When I shout missile, you duck.
Boom! That thing goes. You guys then cut in this way.
So we were like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Because one thing I love about Michael Bay is that he really gets into the trench with his troops.
Ready in 3, 2, 1, action! All right, come on, we gotta wait to get behind Hound, all right?
Once we started shooting outside in the Hong Kong set in Detroit, I'd never experienced anything like that because there were explosions going off, the likes of which I'd never seen before.
Come on! Come on! Get in! Tess! Tessa, let's go! And boom! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tessa, go! Run! Run!
We're way busy. Every shot we're setting off 10 or 12 pounds of black powder. We had bombs everywhere there.
It was really exhilarating.
Come on!
Mark has done these movies, nothing to this scale.
Go, you ready? Tilt down and fire the thing. Go, whip, fire, fire.
I mean, I have crew members that have never seen any stuff like this.
And missile!
We'll pick up new guys all the time, and it's just like, you guys are nuts.
And going!
And these are special effects guys.
He's done around. He's done around this way. He's done around. That was awesome. That was awesome. I have no idea.
Oh, my God. Oh, that was brilliant.
I feel hot, a little fire, a little fire.
The amount of damage we had to do, it required building a set.
5 seconds of that, okay? Bamboo comes down. Then he gets frustrated. He's got to walk. He's going to take another 3 seconds. He's got to bang the things down. Couple strands on your head. Give me a couple cut little small strands. Right. Good. So each take you put a couple on, all right?
Yeah.
Get up! I'm going up! I'm going up! Go!
Easy.
That was good. That was a pretty good shot, huh? How many more car flippers do you have, Schwab?
There's 3 wild ones and 2 cars were up there with 2 car flippers coming this way.
Run, screaming!
With special effects, pointing out where all the events are.
When these guys start moving, that bomb goes off, sending all these people.
And, you know, finding out how far this event may go, adding a safety factor in. We'd say, okay, we're safe to put extras from this point forward.
You're gonna come right here, and I'm gonna run right at the start, okay?
We have to have stunt people from this point back.
The Jeep comes right across there, so that's gonna be stunts. Come on, guys, quickly. There we go, everybody. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, action! Excellent. Okay, good. All right.
We just dropped this train car, rigged it on 2 cranes. And the reason for the 2 cranes is because we have to drop the load, and normally a crane does not like to release the load because the boom can go back and flex. So we split the load between the 2 cranes, and then we were able to drop it with an explosive charge. The last shot we did in Detroit, we dropped that pagoda.
It was built by us, so it was concreted in and bolted in place like standard construction.
And then just before you roll camera, you take all the bolts off, all the nuts off the bolt. And it's really just standing there waiting for you to pull it over.
Just as it was tipping over, coming straight at camera. huge fireball came out the roof. That was a fun one.
That was a beautiful week. Hard as hell.
Real good week, actually. I think this might be a record in our weekly adventures with the Mr. Bay. We tipped the scale this week.
I loved being in the city of Detroit. I love the people in Detroit. You know, they're very proud, hardworking people.
Michigan workers!
You know, it's a shame the economy in the state that it's in now, but it'll rebound. And, you know, I was really glad and proud that Michael would take the movie there and put a real boost into the economy, even if it's just for a short time. I loved it there.